I think it's going to be a really cool experience for both of us. Obviously we're really close, and I've had that question a bunch. I think it's just ironic that the schedule falls, and it was probably made 3 years ago. So it's ironic that there was coaching changes at both institutions, and now the two of us get to start the year coaching against each other. And I said to somebody on Saturday, I think it's probably the best way to do this is to get it out of the way right away, because at some point we were going to coach against each other, right? But it'll be special, at least from my side of it.
You've seen a lot of these new faces coming in on the defensive side. So how much confidence do you have in this freshman group, especially on that back end, just because you've been with them so much in the recruiting process?
I think we've been really fortunate over the past 5-6 years as we've been able to attract some really good high-end defensemen to come be a part of our program. I think that has a lot to do with how we play and the amount of development we've had with kids that we've gotten in here who maybe didn't come in as really highly sought after kids that have turned into outstanding players for us. So we, just like every other freshman class, we expect them to come in and jump in feet first and get after it. I think we've got 3 of them, and I think they all have an opportunity to be very good players for us at some point. And there's always a little bit of a transition with every freshman, regardless of the position, but in specific to the kids on the back end, I think we've got kids that are really excited about the opportunity and are going to be really good players for us this year and moving forward. And the good thing is we've got some kids on the back end too that have been here a long time and maybe haven't had the opportunity they wished to have. And they put themselves in a good position up to this point in the fall here. And so we don't need any of our freshmen to jump in and do what Alec has done or do what Tim Theocharidis did or guys before that, Sean Walker, for example. We just need them to come in and be themselves, and then when the opportunity presents itself, they need to take advantage of it.
In your last game, you guys were a couple shifts away from knocking out the eventual game. So getting into that type of environment and getting that taste, what did that do for this program?
We felt like, in regards to that game in particular, we felt like the response from the weekend prior was really good. As you know, the last 2 games we played didn't end the way we would have liked them to end. And truth be told, the one at Mankato was probably a little bit more difficult to deal with just because it was a 2-goal lead and it happened with the goalie pulled and all those kinds of situations. And then we felt like our group would respond, and they certainly did. You take the defending national champion down to the wire and ultimately feel like you should have won the game and didn't work out for us. But I believe that showed everybody in our program that we can play with anybody in the country when we decide we want to do that. And then in talking with our players between last April and now, I think they feel like they've got something to prove. Last year wasn't a fluke, and certainly there's motivation in that you had an opportunity that you let slip away in the NCAA tournament because you never know. Those opportunities aren't guaranteed.
We talked in the offseason, and you kind of mentioned that losing good players is a good thing because that means you're bringing good players to the program. Obviously, you did lose a handful of players that made an impact here. So how does that maybe change your expectations? What are the expectations with so much change in the program this offseason?
I don't think the expectations change. I think the personnel changes. The expectations don't change. This is exactly where we've wanted to be for a long time, and you guys have been around here for a while. This hasn't been an overnight kind of rebuild. This has taken some time. We've taken great pride in trying to do this the right way. So whoever the next coach was or is going to be is going to pick up a program that is healthy and is viable and that can go anywhere and play against anybody. So yeah, it's the nature of the beast when you have a big time program. You lose good players, and we went back and again, because we had 2 kids sign early to the NHL, and then we had 3 defensemen leave, and then we had a pretty large senior class. So it was a large group in terms of the numbers exiting our program, and then we have a large freshman class to fill in for them. But the reality is this has happened, you go back to Andrew Hammond and then Ryan Carpenter, and whether they're graduating or whether they're signing NHL contracts and leaving early, it's where we want to be, because that means you're attracting good players to your program, like you said, and then the next person, it's your opportunity to do. If they did it, why can't you? So we feel good about the kids we've brought in. Obviously, you don't want to lose kids, but I think we lost kids for the right reasons. They left the program because opportunities at that next level. And when we talk to kids throughout the recruiting process, we talk about, you want to go on and play in the National Hockey League, go ahead. There's been 41 guys do it before you. you can be 42. So hopefully that happens, more often than not, is those kids get those opportunities. And again, when you're in a big time program, that's should be the expectation.
How confident are you in your goaltending situation? Obviously, you lose a really good one, but I mean, Eric played a little bit. And how confident are you going into the season with your goaltending situation?
We're really confident in Eric. He's a kid that, we talk about the makeup of players in our program, and Eric Dopp is one of those kids that is wired exactly the way we want kids to be wired here at Bowling Green. And he's waited patiently, maybe sometimes a little impatiently for this opportunity, because he's a kid that wants to have the net and wants to get in there and prove to everybody that he's a Division I starting goalie. And I think he bided his time and did it. He's done exactly what you would expect him to do. So we're very confident in that. And it's another situation of the last three, four goaltenders that have left our program have left a mark on it while they were here, and then they've gone on to the next level. So that's a good thing. And now it's Eric's turn to put his stamp on things, and then Brett Rich and Zach Rose have to continue to do what they do every day and give themselves the best opportunity.
What have the last few months been like for you personally?
It's been different. The first couple months when I got the job, as you guys all know, we had a really, really close staff, and that was one of the things that we took great pride in. We were together for 9 years, and there was a lot of continuity within our program, and there's been some turnover not only within our staff, but within our strength program, and so we've lost some pieces. So when I first got the job, I would go into the office every day, and it was just me, which was completely different than what I was used to. So I'd talk to myself and switch desks just to pretend there were people in the office other than me, but so that was unique because, again, we were so close. It was like a family. We talked about that all the time. The relationships matter at Bowling Green. So that was unique. And then, you go through the summer, and the summer's always a little different. I would spend time going to certain camps and certain showcases in the summer that were things that I enjoyed doing to try to find the next group of players to come to Bowling Green. So I did a little bit of that. So that kind of brought back some normalcy to it. And then when Coach Balkovec and Coach Carr got to town, and Nathan Phillips, our hockey ops director, that now we got a sense of normalcy back with everybody and talking about hockey. And now you started to believe the job was actually going to happen and it was real, versus before it was just kind of, yeah, I know what's going on here, but there's really nothing going on here. So it's been a little different in that, things like these opportunities are things that, as an assistant coach, they're not part of your normal routine, and I appreciate that and respect that and enjoy these kinds of opportunities because, like I said in my press conference when I got the job, nobody's more proud of being a part of this program than me.
The difference last year between making the national tournament and not making it was you guys played really well in your non-conference games. You get 3 quality opponents in a row to start the season. Do you look at these as playoff type atmospheres?
Yeah, I think you'd be a fool to not look at these as, again, you play 36 games, so game 1 is not the most important game of the season, but at the end of the season you look back and why did we make the national tournament? Because of our non-conference record, because we let some conference games slip away and we didn't take advantage of some opportunities within our conference. So the better you do in the non-conference, I think you just give yourself a little bit more room for error during your conference, and which ultimately is what happened with us. So yeah, we know that getting an opportunity to play Miami and potentially Western Michigan in the tournament, and potentially Ohio State and RIT, and then going to Western and having Notre Dame, those are all big time opportunities for us in a non-conference to show, put a resume together for the national tournament at the end of the year.
One name that's easily come up a lot in terms of somebody who can have a breakout year this year seems to be Taylor Schneider. How much has his off-season work been noticed by everybody on staff?
Yeah, he's just a kid that is real consistent in his everyday. He doesn't say a lot. He's a pretty quiet kid, and his daily routine is one that it's rare that he has a bad practice or a bad workout because he's just real consistent in his effort. And I think for Taylor, he's a kid that he got a chance to play a bunch 5-on-5 for us, and then he worked his way into a power play opportunity late in the year, and then did some stuff on the penalty kill because he just took opportunities and ran with them. And so he's a kid, I don't know if anybody, obviously Alec plays a bunch of minutes for us because he plays in every situation. I don't know that there's going to be a kid up front that's going to play any more than Taylor. Taylor and Connor Ford and Max Johnson, Freddie Letourneau, those guys play a bunch for us. But yeah, I think Taylor is in a great position for him to get everything he wants out of this year. And I know he went to the St. Louis Blues development camp, and they were really happy with how he played, and their response to me on how he performed at camp was he's just really consistent. He's a kid that shows up every day, and every day you notice him because he's just doing a lot of really good things. You know, I think we want to be the same type of program that we've been. We want to be. Like, if you ask someone in college hockey that doesn't know a lot about Bowling Green hockey, they'd say, well, what's Bowling Green about? And they would say they're really hard to play against. And we're really hard to play against because of our effort. And we work really hard, whether it's home or on the road, whether we're up or whether we're down. We work. And so that certainly is part of the DNA of our program and how we've recruited. So that's not going to change. I think there's always, anytime you add new voices to a locker room and new assistant coaches, they approach things differently. They bring things in from there that they've had success with in their specific program. So I think the change in the message has been different. The message is the same, I think, but hearing it maybe from 3 completely different voices is a unique thing, because we were talking about the same things for 9 years. And truth be told, the players in their exit interviews last year, one of the things we talked about was, you know, I said, how do we make this better? Like, how do we improve on what we have? And they said, you know, just changing things up a little bit, you know, because you get into a routine and the reason we kept doing the things the way we did them was because we were successful. But I think there's a different way to do the same things we've been doing and the same things we're known for. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things. And then I just think, you know, me having to be myself is obviously going to be a change for the players. You know, Berge and I are as close of friends as you can have, but we're different people. So I'm going to try to be me, and he's going to go down to Oxford and continue to be himself. So I think that's different. And then other than that, we don't want to change a whole bunch of stuff, because I really believed in what we were doing and believe in how we play and what this program stands for.